Ever get that feeling that the global economy is just stuck? Like it's running on a treadmill, Lots of movement, but it's not actually going anywhere? Well, you're definitely not alone. And in this explainer, we're going to dive into why that feeling isn't just in your head. It's very real. And the solutions? Yeah, they're harder to find than ever.
Right off the bat, let's be super clear. This isn't just some media hype or a catchy headline. It's a genuine, shared experience. People all over the world are feeling this economic drag. This sense that no matter how hard you work, you're just not getting ahead.
We hear the phrase uncertain times thrown around a lot, but that's kind of like driving through thick fog. You feel uneasy, but you know the road is still there, you just can't see it. What we're dealing with now is totally different. It feels more like the road itself has just crumbled away and there's no clear path forward at all. The truth is, the global economy has basically hit a wall, a fundamental constraint where every potential solution seems to lead to another problem. You push here to fix something and something else over there breaks. This isn't just a rough patch we can wait out. It's a genuine economic trap.
Okay, so what does it actually mean to be stuck when we're talking about the economy? Let's break down what's really going on behind that feeling.
So here's the mess we're in. It's a perfect storm of problems all happening at once. Prices are high, but so are interest rates, which are supposed to cool prices down. At the same time, debt is at a record high, but growth is weak, so we can't just grow our way out of it. It's like every single warning light on the dashboard is blinking, and hitting the brakes or the accelerator could make things worse.
So you have to wonder, how did we even get here? Well, for decades, there was a pretty standard playbook for fixing economic problems. But as we're about to see, the game has completely changed, and that old playbook just doesn't work anymore.
For the longest time, the strategy was so simple, almost predictable. Economy slowing down? No problem, just cut interest rates to get people spending. A sudden crisis hits? Easy, pump money or liquidity into the system to keep things from freezing up. And all that debt piling up? Don't worry about it, we'll just let future economic growth take care of it. It worked for years. But here's the thing, the world is fundamentally different now. Global debt is so massive that growing out of it isn't really an option, especially when aging populations in major economies are naturally slowing growth down. Plus, the easy cost-cutting benefits we got from globalization have pretty much run their course. And on top of it all, people's trust in the very institutions that need to make tough calls is way down. The old tools are still there, but the engine they're supposed to fix has been completely rebuilt.
And all of this brings us to the real heart of the issue. It's not just that the old tools are rusty. It's that we're now stuck in a massive economic catch-22, an impossible choice that is defining this entire era.
Think about it like this. For decades, the entire global economy was basically powered by one thing: cheap debt. It was the fuel for everything. Government spending, corporate expansion, even your own credit card. Low-cost borrowing wasn't just a tool. It became the very foundation of how our modern world operates. We all got hooked.
And that addiction has led us right here, to this impossible choice. On one hand, if policymakers keep interest rates high to fight inflation, they risk causing a massive recession because the cost of all that debt becomes unbearable. But if they cut rates to save the economy, inflation could come roaring back, and the cost of living would go through the roof all over again. There is literally no easy move. It's a choice between two very painful outcomes.
Okay, so if everything is in such a tough spot, why do we sometimes look at the news and see the stock market doing great? This crazy disconnect between Wall Street headlines and what's happening in our daily lives is a huge part of this story. Let's unpack that.
What's happening is we're basically living in two separate economies. You've got the financial markets, which run on big picture things like money supply and hints from central banks about future policy. That's what can keep asset prices high. But for most of us, the real economy is about right now. How much is rent? What's the gas bill? Is my job secure? And that gap explains why the headlines can feel like they're from another planet. Have you ever noticed how carefully officials speak? They use these calming, vague phrases like soft landing, or they say they're data dependent. That's not just financial jargon, it's a sign of the problem itself. When you don't have a clear solution, the next best thing is to manage psychology, to project confidence, and to basically buy time, hoping that anything changes.
So, with all that said, what's the right way to think about this situation? It's really tempting to just say the whole system is broken. But that's not quite right. You can fix something that's broken. What we're facing is something else entirely.
And here it is, the key idea. The global economy isn't broken, it's cornered. Think about it. It's backed into a corner by problems it can no longer solve, like massive debt, and consequences it refuses to accept, like a deep, painful recession. And when a system has no good moves left, what does it do? It stalls. It just grinds to a halt.
And that leaves all of us with the defining question of our time. When a system gets stuck like this, when it's truly cornered, something eventually has to give. The real question is, what's it going to be?
Most people never learn how this system works. If this helped, subscribe.